So being present, that's the topic of this conversation, right? Easy, just be present. So easy. Why can't we do it? Because we got these minds that is constantly thinking and overthinking. And all those thoughts that you're having, they're connected to these identities that you get up in the morning and you put on. These characters that have names, genders, where they're from, what they've been doing, how they're doing. So I want to invite you to this space called Space Before Thought. The space before thought is a space inside. It's a space of awareness that takes you back to your heart and allows you to be present, allows you to find peace and joy inside. No matter what's going on the outside, no matter what's happening, and there's a lot happening, right, in our world, everybody's feeling it. But once you discover this space, it's easier to stay in this space. What I like to call is like you're the ocean, right? It's a big ocean, right? But there's waves on it. So these thoughts and emotions you're having, once you figure that space inside of you, those thoughts and emotions, you'll be able to watch them just like those waves on the ocean. It's not going to impact you. You're not going to toss and turn. You're just watching. And it takes practice to get there. So a little bit about me and how I found this space, because I always like to use myself and my life as an example for people. I always say to my clients, if I can do it, you can do it. Because there isn't any difference, right? We're all the same. We're all one. So I discovered this space. It was, I don't know how many years ago. My son was about 2, so probably 16 years ago. And at that point, my life really turned upside down. I was going through a horrible divorce from an abusive person. And my financial situation was really horrible. I lost all the money. My house was in foreclosure. I'm sitting there, single mom, going through this horrible divorce. And I can't do my job. The job that I had done since I was 19 as an engineer. I was really good at it. And I would stare at the screen, my documents that I wrote, and it was as if they're Chinese. I couldn't read. Everybody's like, oh, you're stressed, you'll be fine. Like, you don't understand. The words on the screen look Chinese to me. I cannot read. I can read other stuff, but when I come to do my job, I can't. And I would sit there for hours and hours, just cry at the screens. Like, I don't have money. I can't do my job. Like everything, all my fears and anxieties were coming. So I said, okay, something's got to give. I got to stop this craziness, this madness. And I had to pause and say, how did I get here? Right? I worked all my life, controlled everything. Wanted all these things and the money and the house and the hubby and the kid. Now all of it's falling apart. What happened? What happened to my big plan? So I had to go inside. And going inside meant I had to take responsibility for my life. I was a responsible adult. It wasn't like I lost all my money, gambling it away. It just happened. Market went bad. Invested wrong. So I had to go inside and take responsibility of my life. My life is here because of my choosing and my doing. Now let's go inside and see, how did I get here? And when I went inside, it was very hard, right? I had to look at some things that I didn't want to look at. I've been hiding. I didn't want anybody else to see it. I had such a good facade, right? And you guys talk about health and wellness. I had so many issues. I had ovarian cysts, endometriosis, I had, long time ago, even in my childhood, I was rheumatoid arthritis, they told me, because they couldn't discover why I had so much pain in my hands and joints. And during this time, I had so much pain, like arthritis pain, that salon paws, I don't know if anybody's used those patches. I used to have salon paws, each finger up to here. That's how much pain I was in. And outside, it seemed pretty healthy, right? I look the same as now, minus the gray hair. So what happened? I went inside and found out all these things were because growing up, and no fault to parents. Parents, they got it from their parents, their parents, their parents. It goes generations and generations of fear passed down. And what happens when we fear? We try to control, we try to manipulate. So all those things came, and then I was in a household that had a lot of issues. And then the revolution happened, and I was young. That was very scary. Nobody told me what's happening. I'm like, they're guns, they're shooting, they're telling us get under the table, if they're shooting, get in the ditch. And then on top of that, then we had the war. That was another, nobody told me what's happening. We have these big X's on the window. What's happening here? There are alarms going off, and I'm going like in the basement under the tables, and my dad and his friends, they're like up on the roof, and it's like, what's happening here? We're all dying, and these people don't get it. My parents are not understanding that this is scary. So, and to top it off, we came to US. I didn't speak any English. Came here after the hostage situation. That was fun. So, yeah, all those fears. So I grew up, now they term it PTSD. I had PTSD at 4 years old. That's how my life was. And every choice I made was because I wanted to control life. Like my life I wasn't in charge, right? I felt I'm not in charge. The people in charge are not getting me. They're not getting that how scary this is. And they're adding to my stress and fear. So that made me have control, right? I want to control my life. What's the best way to control? Okay, I need money, education, let's go for it. I'm on a mission. 19 years old, I got my bachelor's in engineering. And then went on to get masters and all those great stuff. But all of that was out of fear and control because I didn't want anybody to see me, who I am inside. I didn't like the way I look. I thought I was less. All those things. I'm not accepted. All those fears. So I put all these costumes, and that's how I lived my life. And that's why I had all those diseases. Louise Hay, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of her. She's the queen of how your emotions and these diseases are tied. And if you look at it, it's very simple, like, digestion issues. Because you have to assimilate food and digest it and, release the toxins. So what do you think is responsible, emotional responses for that? When we cannot digest life, when we cannot take in life fully, we're having a hard time taking life fully. So what happened to me? Yeah, all my digestion issues, all my female issues. I didn't like being a woman. I was hard. I was in a society that women were less. And they had to look a certain way. And I didn't feel like, I'm not looking like that, so I'm not pretty. I'm not good enough. All those things, all those fears got me to that point where I couldn't do it anymore. I had to go inside and face all these things. So going inside means just being aware. And when I say aware, everybody's like starts judging. All these things that come up, don't judge it. There's no good or bad. They're all you. They're part of you. Just like saying, I have a scar. I have a mole. I had a surgery. The scar is here. There's no good or bad. So when you meet yourself in those places, when you discover yourself inside, be kind, be loving, accept it. Bring it in. And once you accept it, then it's easier to forgive. Forgive everybody. Forgive yourself. Forgive the people in your life that got you those places because they did you a favor. Without those things, without those experiences, you wouldn't be where you are right now. You wouldn't be who you are right now, doing the work you're doing right now. I'm grateful. All those things that happened to me, I saw them line up. I was like, what a master plan. I couldn't do this myself if I wanted to go ahead. Because all those experiences that I had and the tools I learned to get myself to this place is what I help other people with. What I change lives with. So awareness is the key. Then acceptance. Then forgiveness. And then naturally, that love, that self-love comes in. Self-love is not about, let me make my hair look good. Let me have the right clothes. Let me look good in the mirror. That's not self-love. Let me get a massage. Those are great things. Do it. There is no right and wrong. Do it. Enjoy all of it. But self-love is be willing to see yourself fully and love every part. That you're not afraid of showing up and worrying like, what if somebody finds out what's going on inside this body? Oh my God, if they know my thoughts. Loving yourself, accepting yourself just means that, self-love. And gratitude, then the gratitude naturally comes into play. And all those things then help you be present in the now. Because you'll see that you don't need these characters. You don't need these costumes. And you can be yourself, who you are. Because once you love yourself, naturally you'll show up as a being. I don't need to be anything else. I don't need to be anybody different. I am who I am. And you can stand there and just every day show up, be present. And once you see these things, you're aware of these parts of yourself. You don't follow those thoughts anymore. Once you don't follow the thoughts, it's easier and easier to be present. So any questions right now on anything I said? That's all I had for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh yeah, one more thing. So this little book, if you guys are interested, I have copies for you guys as a gift. You can come grab them for me. And Change Yourself, Change the World. It's about you figuring out that, and I've done this with clients, I've done it in my life and I've seen it, that once you change yourself, everybody else around you, your world starts to shift. Everything starts to shift. And that's what this is about. It's not about you getting up, you need to make big changes for other people. Just shifting yourself, just allowing those small things to happen will change things. And I have some practical guidance for you guys in here as well on the last chapter. And yeah, thank you guys for having me. I look forward to the workshop.